Joining me now are Liberal Senators Alex Antic and Hollie Hughes. Great to see you both. Alex and Hollie, I want to play you a quick grab of Donald Trump earlier.
Your envoy, Steve Witkoff, told us a little while ago that if Hamas does not release hostages, that the U.S. and Israel could take some action. What does that mean in your eyes? Is that military action? Would you join strikes with Israel?
Well, you're going to find out. I had the honor of spending a lot of time yesterday with quite a few of the people that we got out, and I can't believe how badly treated they were.
So, Hollie, let me ask you, Donald Trump has made this threat several times now. Hamas release all the hostages. There's hell to pay. The gates of hell will open on us. Personally, I've made my opinion clear. I think the Israelis should go in and absolutely annihilate everybody in Hamas, either literally annihilate them or arrest them and hold them to account in a proper court. It's long overdue playing these games with Hamas.
Yep.
Trump is calling again, saying, well, you're going to find out, you're going to find out. At what point do the Israelis need to go in, Hollie?
Look, you know, I wear this pin
Yes.
and I wear it every day because we do need to get those hostages back, and it is ridiculous that it is taking so long. Israel, the only way Israel will survive is if Hamas is completely eradicated.
Agreed.
To allow it to continue to refester will just lead to a next October 7th, whenever that will occur. The way that people are raised under that Hamas rule, from the children up, are taught nothing but hatred. So absolutely there's more action that needs to be taken. If Hamas doesn't get it by now, then I don't think they ever will. Because the reality is, and I think Trump will go in, I think, you know, he may not have wanted to do it within the first month, but I think it'll happen, and it'll happen sooner rather than later if those hostages aren't back. And we know that more of them are dead than alive now.
Alex, Trump has talked the big plans for Gaza, turning it into the Gold Coast, or maybe I hope the Gold Coast still looks good at the end of the weekend, but Gaza could be the new glittering seaside resort there. Is Trump's vision for the Middle East achievable?
Well, I think, Rowan, the first thing I'd say is to underestimate this president is foolish. I think he's one of the few presidents of the United States that's done what he said and said what he's done. So if he says he has a vision for the United States, for the Gaza through the United States, then I think people need to listen, frankly. And look, I don't think we've ever been quite clear about what that is going to look like per se. But, you know, Hollie is completely right about that. It can't be a future which Hamas have any interest in, and we will see what comes of the next few days. I think there are 59 hostages remaining. I think only 24 or so, they are saying, tragically, are still alive. So we've got a long way to go in that part of the world before condos are going up. There's a bit of bringing these people to justice for what they've done to go just yet.
Absolutely. Now, you're both in the Senate, have been in the Senate there. You've sat through Senate estimates and you've seen, hopefully, and exposed. Both of you have done a brilliant job, by the way, of exposing a lot of the waste and misuse of taxpayers' funds by the government and by the Canberra swamp. I just want to play you this comment about what they found out during the draining of the American swamp. Have a listen.
The international NGOs, the contractors, and started looking at all of them, where the billions and billions are going. And 95, 98%. Even World Vision Catholic Relief Services, the vast majority, well over 90% of their political donations were going to the left.
So, Hollie, is the same thing happening here? Are the NGOs and government bureaucracies just pouring money towards the left?
Well, why are they making donations? Why are government organisations making political donations? I mean, I'm not quite sure we have that issue in Australia, obviously. It's very different in the US. But I don't think anyone is surprised that a lot of these organisations are completely dominated by left-wing ideology and support anyone of the left that supports them, because at the end of the day, it's all about big government. They know best. And that's what these organisations are trying to say all the time. Just listen to us. We know how to look after things. We'll look after you. It's very paternalistic and not surprising.
Absolutely. Now, Alex, you were going to tell us, you've got a story for us about air conditioning, which is, tell us what you've discovered about plans or potential plans for all our air conditioning in Australia or in certain states.
it doesn't sound like a very interesting story, Rowan, but when people understand the detail and potentially the future of where we're going with this, I think they'll be very interested and very concerned. I mean, I've been talking about this for years now, this sort of creep of the technocracy creeping into our everyday lives. We saw it during COVID. And now we're seeing this creep of smart meters coming out into the Australian landscape. Here in SA, it is apparently on the cards that they'll continue to roll out these smart meters, which in essence are sold on the basis that, you don't have some bloke coming to check your energy meter anymore, and, there are efficiencies because you can see when you're using your power and so on and so forth. But in actual fact, what these will do is allow these energy meters to be remote access potentially and controlled. And they're talking about the possibility of using that control to turn off compressors, turn down the temperature in the middle of hot days. Now, I mean, on what planet is that ever going to be a good idea, particularly when you live in a country that is so abundantly, full of resources that could provide cheap power? Here we are, we've got Labor governments all over the country potentially looking at these, and this just shows once again our power plan for nuclear energy must go forward. Otherwise, these things are going to continue to get rolled out, and we're going to have people in serious trouble in heat when some bureaucrat turns down the knob on their power supply in the middle of a 40-degree day.
I'm glad you got that word knob in there. It seems to be the word of the week there, Alex.
I tried my best.
We've got these, Hollie, we've got these bureaucrats reaching in, turning down the knob. That is the definition of Big Brother if ever I've heard it.
Let me tell you, there'll be some perimenopausal and menopausal women out there going, not on my watch.
Absolutely. Good. Hollie Hughes and Alex Antic, thanks so much for joining us on The World According to Rowan Dean.